Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? I hope everyone is well. I hope that your things are, as you wish them to be. And if not, then take advantage of this hour together with us. Be supported and loved, and and we're going to make art, for crying out loud. So remember today, good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Keels. That today we're going to continue on our Arttober celebration, and we're going to be making some more art papers that we're going to use eventually in one art journal entry, and then we'll have them for other art journal entries. So first off, let's make sure everybody has a big drink of water. And start off by taking a big drink. Good morning, Valerie. And know that you're doing something really nice for yourself by drinking lots of water. "64 ounces. It's completely doable. My doctor was talking to me about, because good morning, Diana. Good morning, Susan. We were talking about water intake, and I said, I find it quite easy to drink lots of water. And she said, what she tells people is just keep sipping. Just keep sipping all day long. And then you're not having to chug it. I mean, you do if you're super, super thirsty, but if you just keep sipping all day long, you'll never get dehydrated, which I thought was brilliant. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes. Good morning, Joni. As you can see, I have my paint pens. So whatever paint pens you have, these are acrylic paint pens. And then I have a series of thin, kind of translucent papers. I have some deli paper, and while I was at my dad's, we were going through some things, and I said, hey, do you happen to have some, just some white copy paper? And he goes, like typing paper? And I said, sure. And I'm not kidding. So I found, you guys, look at this typing paper. Stop it right now. And I have just some copy paper. That's what I was looking for, because I was doing an art project in his backyard. Of course I was. Anyway, so I just want you to gather some translucent papers, whether they are, like I said, whether they are typing paper that you found in your mom's stash. How cool was that? Or deli paper. That's what we're going to I can't wait, Tam. I can't wait. And Tammy, you are up early this morning, my sweet. Look at you. Okay, so if you're brand new here, if you would like, follow, share, comment, all the things on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Corbiere-Scott Designs, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Anne, and Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So I gathered a bunch of different papers, like I said. So I have some different sizes of deli paper. I have some deli paper that I used when I was jelly printing as my roll-off papers, or my roll-off papers, or like my ghost prints, right? So I have all these different papers, right, with different degrees of paint. But I want to play with the idea that I'm going to share with you today on these two. I thought that it might be interesting to see. Oh, look at that one. Oh, I remember this one. Do you guys remember this one? Remember when we did crayon rubbings? Oh, see, you should always like have some kind of art supply with you, because wherever you go, you're going to find something to, make art with. Anyway, so this is my idea, and it's something that we've done before, so it's not like I'm sharing something that's brand new. Okay, so this is a smallish piece of deli paper, and I got mine at Smart & Final, I believe. And you're gonna, when you buy it like that, you're gonna have to buy like 500. But I think that sometimes if I get a sandwich and it's printed deli paper, I'll go, oh, can I have another piece of that, please? And I usually get one. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna do some asemic writing, which we've done many times before, but that doesn't mean we're one and done. We are repeat offenders with the artsy techniques. Good morning, Sue. And we're going to do some mark making and asemic writing. So for those of you who may not remember what asemic writing is wordless writing. So it doesn't say anything. It just gives the appearance of writing and words and, cursive. You can do it either printing or in cursive. But I think cursive has the best, what do I want to say, kind of flow to it. But, you do you. Anyway, I'm going to take one of my paint pens, and I'm going to prime it on a piece of paper. And then I'm just going to start and I'm holding my pen up kind of high so that I have, it's looser, right? Can you see that? Let's see if I can scooch over a little bit so you can see. Right, we want it nice and loose. Then we're just gonna start in with our next. You know what, I should probably put something under it, so if I go over the edges, it goes onto a piece of paper. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with some asemic writing, and I'm going to fill my whole sheet. And the idea is that we're creating all of this, all of these art papers, so we just keep having variety in our art papers, right? So our art journaling is just going to stay relevant and interesting, because our art papers that we create with will just continue to have variety and different textures and different weights, right? So this one we're doing on something super, super thin, deli paper. But I also, like I said, I have that, but we want something translucent, and you'll figure out that part in a minute, or we'll talk about it. Hey, Jeff and I started to watch this show last night that was so good. It is called Nobody Wants This, and it's on Netflix. Has anybody started watching it? So it is just, good morning, Pegs. We are creating some new art papers, and we're doing some asemic writing with a paint pen on deli paper or whatever thin translucent paper you have. Valerie, it's good. It's really good. So I'm just doing some asemic writing, and like I said, I'm holding my pen up high so that I'm nice and loose in case I try to write a letter. It doesn't really come out that way. Whoops. And the reason that we are doing translucent papers is that it's going to make the coolest, it's going to make really cool layers on our art journal page. Because it's translucent, if we adhere it with matte medium, it will become almost transparent, which is very cool, right? And you know, we're all about layers and layers and layers and layers. I was talking to my dad last night, and I'll be going home again at the end of the month, and we're gonna go on a little trip. It's my mom's birthday at the end of the month, and so I think going on a little trip will be a good thing. And at first I didn't know if he was going to go with me, but he says yes, so we're going to have ourselves a time. So we're going to a place called Manitoulin Island, where we have some relatives that live there. It's just this gorgeous little place. So it's very picturesque, and fall in Ontario is beautiful. So anywho, I'm planning this trip, and I was thinking about little things, like how could I make the most of I always take my phone because I can snap pictures of interesting patterns, or do you know what I mean? All those things. And so I started to think about how can I capture where I'm going artistically without taking all the art supplies, right? So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little pouch, and you know I have 5,000 of them. I'm going to take a little pouch, and in that pouch I'm going to have some, because I thought I could make some cool, I just have all these big ideas. I think I'm going to pack a couple of crayons in that pouch, and maybe a paint pen, a micron, a pencil, that kind of thing. But also in that pouch, I'm going to cut little pieces of paper, about this size. This is old. This is something I made a long time ago that I had to make directions, but I can't waste. Anyway, little pieces, about this. So this is big enough to capture, what if while I'm in Canada, I get some Canadian coins, and I could do some crayon rubbings on those, right? What if I see a cool grate? I could just bend over and do a little crayon rubbing of that grate. My dad will be, shaking his head, but he knows his daughter. What if I see some cool flowers? I could pick those flowers, and I've thought about how can I keep those flowers till I get back to my dad's house. I was thinking I might be able to, like if I have some wet paper towel in a Ziploc, like that might be able to keep them kind of going for as long as I can. What if I see some cool fall leaves? I could do some rubbings of those. What if, and I could gather those too, right? You can do a rubbing and then you could certainly still like gather those leaves and bring them home with you. Last time I was at my dad's, I gathered, all kinds of leaves and ferns, and so my mom has a million of these notebooks, and my dad was going to get rid of them, and I was like, no, don't get rid of them, because look, I packed this notebook full of fall leaves. Look at all those fall leaves, and look at how nice and flat they are in just a stinking notebook, right? So I could do this. Look at this, is a black-eyed Susan from their backyard. This is wild sage. Some more leaves, right? I have all these flowers, right? Or all these leaves. Look at all these. Shut up. Look at those ferns, right? So I can use these ferns for all kinds of art, right? So I'm going to absolutely take another one of these notebooks, and I will fill it with all kinds of nature, or who knows what I find. I usually travel with one of those zip bags, you know, like this kind of a zip bag, because I can put all kinds of things in here, right? And for the most part, I can keep things pretty flat in here. Like I usually try to put a couple of sheets of paper, maybe a piece of cardstock or two, because if I do that, then I can press things in here and then I can seal it. So anyway, as I, you know, and I do try to take minimal art supplies, but always something with me, because, you know, why not? So I'm going to continue. Anyway, does anybody else have like travel art supplies that you bring with you? Do you have, like, I usually, if I'm working on something specific, I will bring the supplies for that. But if it's, what do I want to say? If it's like a little trip where I want to just be open to whatever that place kind of has to offer me, then I will pack a bag kind of like this time. I'm thinking I want to have like full sheets of paper, and then those little pieces, because I can make all kinds of things out of those. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll put a couple of dang it, what was I just thinking about? I don't know. It'll come back to me. Yeah, I always, and I will just tell you, Keely and I have found hotels are, and I've talked about this before, hotels have like the best the best patterns, right? Look at their lobbies, look at their carpets, look at the artwork in your rooms, look at the like the wallpaper in the bathroom, the wallpaper on like a signature wall, maybe a focal wall in the room, curtains, lampshades, upholstery. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just always bring something with me, Nance. So but you know, like I said, I've been known to just, and I always snap pictures of cool patterns or something that maybe I want, but I don't have room in my suitcase, or I might have to order that when I get home because it's too bulky for me to take home like on a plane. Because I want to get like the contact information for that for whatever that product is. I don't know. Because I like to buy books, but they're really heavy in my suitcase. So, ooh, brochures. Yes, brochures. Okay, so here's one whole sheet, right? So this is just a semic writing, right? But now, okay, so I have this one that already has some additional, so it was a ghost print from Jelly Printing, and then I did some crayon rubbing for a couple of euros coins. But now I'm thinking, oh, look at this craziness. Look at this. Okay, so another thing that you can do, oh, I need to take a drink. Everybody needs to take a drink. That you can just do some mark making, right? So I have a pen that's kind of, so you know, mark making is just the process of creating texture with dots, lines, shapes, textures, patterns, right? And you can use like all kinds of tools to do that, right? So, and it can be really loose and expressive. It can be controlled and neat. It's all up to you. So I'm thinking, I really want to do some mark making down here. Look at there, it's my thumbprint, I think. So what if we just do, so this is kind of interesting. Right? Right? So we did that. Now what if we did Cosmic Uni? What's a uni? The unicorn crayons? I think I have those. And glitter crayons. I'm telling you, you just never know what you're going to find at one of those kind of stores. I don't go there very often. Okay, this is the one. Celery, I think. Oh! Stop it right now. Stop it right now. All right. So let's turn this, and then what if we do some mark making this way? Right? right? I like to vary the sizes, the celery. Stop it right this minute. This Deco Color acrylic paint celery. So pretty. So remember, these are all a big fat experiment. But I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool? When I was digging for deli paper, I was like, what if I use deli paper that already has a buildup of acrylic paint on it? And then some mark making on top. So let's play with my thought is, let's play with the idea of building these up, right? Whether they be this or this, right? Whether they be just pen or build up on a roll-off sheet or ghost prints or whatever, and we do some mark making or semic writing on top of these, and then eventually we're going to adhere them to, we're going to use them as a layer, I should say, in our building of our art journal entry with matte medium. So then there's going to be translucent parts and parts that aren't translucent. I just feel like that might be super, super cool. So anyway, that is that idea. Oh, I wanted to make sure everybody knew. I was talking to Tessa yesterday and she said, hey, Michael's has Liquitex art acrylic tubes, and I have scads of those. They're upstairs right now, but I do have lots of them. But anyway, she said they have Liquitex acrylic tubes, buy one, get one. I don't know if it's free or 50% off. I don't know, but I'm going to check it out today. So, on my way to meet Tammy and Raylyn, I'm going to go there and see what I can see. And I'm sure I will find something. What was the other thing I told you about? Nobody Wants This. So Nobody Wants This, the premise of that story is an agnostic woman meets a Jewish rabbi, and they really enjoy each other's company. They're starting to build a relationship, and because they come from such different worlds, it's interesting to see, will it work? Will it not? Whatever. Anyway, I thought that was fun and interesting. Okay, I'm going to pull another paper out here. See what I can see. Oh, look at this one. Look, I have this one, and I've never really... Oh, my gosh. Did you finish the whole season, Peg? I'm telling you, there was so much that was familiar. Because remember, Jeff's family is Jewish, so there was so much that was familiar. So I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, I was hoping I had a chisel. I don't think I have anything that has a chisel, because my idea was kind of a chisel-y idea. Let's see if I have, look at all these stinking pens. They just make me happy. Oh, I have the big black, and I think I have the big white. Yep. I have this big gray. That might be kind of fun. Oh. This one, the deeper gray. That might be kind of fun to play with. I remember I got this guy because it's khaki, but it's really kind of a dark green. But I might be able to do something with that. So we're just kind of taking some time to just kind of zhuzh up some papers that we've already created on deli paper, something translucent, or create from beginning to end. Swear, that's exactly what happens to me, Peg. If Jeff's gone, then I know that I can kick out a show. And it's usually some British drama. I know, I was thinking about it, Keels, but then I was like, what if I just did dots? Thinking that might... Look how just the addition of those dots has changed the look of this paper that was just sitting in a stack. Right? So pull out some deli papers that you just have sitting in a stack. I don't know what I want to do in this big open space. I'm feeling like, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, so I'm not going to do something until something kind of comes to me. Because do you know how many times I've made horrid mistakes because I just felt like this internal pressure or something to do something? So dumb. What was the other thing I was gonna... Oh, here's some food for thought. Oh, I told you about the Michaels. See, you know what? And does it have a chisel? I thought it kind of had... Does it have a chisel? I saw these sort of... I think it's a different kind of Posca that is like long and kind of like that. Like it has kind of a T at the end. And this is all paint applicator, right? I thought about those. I look at them every time I go to the art store and I don't get them. There must be a reason that I don't get them. Oh my gosh. So, you know, I'm always looking for something interesting to, like an interesting take on things. And sometimes I get things like that are like, your children need to hear this, or, you know, that these are good lessons to instill in children. And I'm going to tell you, I send them to my nieces who both have small children. And I said, I'm just going to say 90% of the time, grown-ups need to hear this too. It's stuff that I wish grown-ups knew. I wish grown-ups put into practice. So here's the one today that was for children, but I think it's really for everyone. Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. Watch your character, because it becomes your destiny. That was good, wasn't it? I was like, man, oh man. I mean, children should certainly hear it, but can't you think of just a few people, like including yourself, that could use that reminder? At least I feel like I could use the reminder. It is good, isn't it, Keels? So I'm just curious what's going to happen with these, look how much will be, it's a big fat experiment, which, you know, most art is a big fat experiment. Like, will the premise hold true? Like, will the white become translucent on the page on top of whatever we put it on top of, right? I'm kind of curious about that. And there's something quite meditative about just doing some mark making. I don't know. I find it quite meditative. Look, I could just do this forever and a day. I'm telling you, right this minute. So don't rush any of these processes. Just take your time and just really kind of get into the zone with it. Because you just never know. Like, one little area might turn into like the artsy prize, you know? I think this purple looks so pretty with that aqua. Mm-hmm. Loving it. Loving it, loving it. There we go. Where do I want to go with that? I mean, I want to finish down here, but then I'm like, what do I want to do after? I don't know. It's kind of interesting to put kind of a more refined mark, right, on top of something that's so organic. And I think this was from, remember when we did the rubber band jelly printing with, I think that it was in an Ornamentally Yours class, I believe. Maybe it was, I don't know, something for Lindsay. Maybe her, birthday, or no, I don't think it was a birthday. There you go, rubber baby. Thank you, Susan. That's funny that you remembered that. And I didn't tell anybody what I was doing, and Lindsay was dying of curiosity. And that was fun to keep a secret from her. Okay, let's see. What am I going to do next? Like, I have this whole area that I think I need to add some more. So we're just going to keep growing our papers that we already have on deli paper, or oh, I haven't done anything on that typing paper. Okay, so I have this typing paper, and you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, let me find another kind of a cleaner one. There we go. I'm gonna start looking for some onion skin. Do you remember onion skin paper? I'm totally looking for that, because wouldn't that be fun and cool? I'm gonna do something to please Miss Keeley, and we'll use some lime green. That's her favorite. Everybody take a drink. And Lori Hennig. Okay, this pen I got on that same trip with Keely and Peg, and it's a Molotow one for all acrylic twin. So it has this end, which look, I've never even used, and this end. So that's kind of cool, right? Don't you think, Nancy? Oh my gosh, don't you remember onion skin? Okay, let's prime this and get some color going. Oh, it's not taking much. Okay, so we could do, so I don't know how translucent this will be. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. It'll be an experiment. Who knows? I have no idea, but let's get on the case and look for onion skin paper. I bet you, like at estate sales, can I tell you, when I go to an estate sale, here's the places I look. I look where they have the linens, because I always find something cool in there. And like if they have an office or a desk, because I always find old funky tools, and like I almost, especially if that person was a painter at all, or you know, an artist of any kind like that. Or where do you think I got my my Rolodex cards? Look how yellowed it is. Stop it. I get like old pens, old little notebooks. Oh my gosh. All the things. You name it. You name it. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking, what if, oh, look at that. It's like a big bullet, but it's gray. So what if we do, ooh, nice, nice, nice. Okay. I think I want to thicken these up a little bit. Stop it. Oh, the other thing that's on Manitoulin Island is Beam Paints, which I can hardly wait to go there. And remember that Beam Paints is located on Corbiere Road. So I'm so excited. I know my dad won't find that exciting, but he'll go and we'll have fun. I'm sure we'll find a fun place to eat and some cool things to see, visit some family. I think on this sheet, I want to not do like the whole sheet of this. I think maybe I'll do half and half. Like what if I did half? Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Tissue paper. Tissue paper. Keels, do you remember when you, oh, it could be, Valerie. It very well could be. Do you remember when you sent me a piece of altered tissue paper? Do you remember? It was like polka dot, and then you painted on it with green and blue, and I made a Rolodex card out of it, and I still have a little piece of it. I'm telling you, I will save stuff like nobody's business. Do you remember what the process of that was? Like, did you just paint on top of it? Did you jelly print on top of it? Tracing paper. There you go. Ooh, and I have a lot of tracing paper. Thanks for the thought, Nance. Right? So now I'm thinking, what would happen if like once this is dry, we could certainly do some. Okay, I know. I have a tub of like a Rubbermaid tub thing. I think it's the one that's one size bigger than the shoebox one. Does that look like about half? I think so. But now look at, I have this deeper gray, which I think, oh, this one's a chisel. So, what if I do, let's test it out here first. I want to try and make these all kind of different. I'm having to be aware of how the pressure that I use to make my mark. Like I need to kind of roll it so that the top happens. The top half of the little rectangle. Because do you see how that one didn't right here? So I need to go back in there and roll kind of to the top. I wasn't doing a very conscientious job that time. It seems to do better if I start high and go low. They're better. No rushing this technique. So I was also thinking about, you know, as you're, oh, now I want to dig in my tissue paper keels. When you're doing one artsy technique and another one kind of pops in your head, I'm feeling like splatter would be kind of cool on top of this with acrylic paint. If I water down some acrylic paint and splatter on top, like maybe another shade of gray, that might be pretty. Oh, we need to do comfort book. Okay, let's just open and see what we got. future is open. You don't need to know the future to be hopeful. You just need to embrace the concept of possibility, to accept that the unknowability of the future is the key, and that there are versions of that future that are brighter and fairer than the present. The future is open. Short and sweet today. Short and sweet. Well, I can't get to my tissue paper, but I will. I will totally play with my tissue paper today. So, I will just continue to make these marks. I'm just kind of feeling like maybe... Oh my gosh, I know well, Diana is in Florida. Anybody else? I know they've sure been in my thoughts and prayers. Gosh, I can't even imagine. My dad and I were just talking about it on the phone last night. Can you imagine if you survived the first one and then another one comes barreling in? Yikes. How about Mark? How is he doing, Keels? It's a crazy thing. Mother Nature, she has a mind of her own. Did they lose power? Been thinking about that too with Frank. Ay, ay. Yeah, it's just, oh my gosh. Well, our Laura is from, like a little bit inland from St. Pete, and so I usually check in with Carm to see how she's doing. It's just, man alive. The water, I can't imagine how devastating that's got to be. Let's see, where do I want to go now? She was right in the storms, but she is inland, Carmen says. So, like the first storm, they just had like downed trees and that kind of thing. But this next one, I don't know. Like, how do you even take a breath in between them, you know? That's just got to be devastating. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh, so exhausting. Really, can you even imagine it? Like you just, I know. Like, how is it even possible, Valerie? I mean, everybody's got their thing though, right? We have tremendous heat. Everybody's got their thing. Stop it. Oh, I'm kind of digging that. Uh-oh, where's the end of it? There we go. I think I need to let that dry and then figure out what I want to do next. I don't know just yet. I'm kind of keen on the splatter painting though. I got my I do have this big, look at this giant Posca. Look at that. Stop it. What if we just did some stripes? So, yes, so Tessa and I were talking about gold paint because Debbie Pack sent me that. Remember, she sent me that piece of jelly print, and she had, I think I want to fill that in. That jelly print, and it had, oh, this is so low. Yeah, my stomach's starting to growl too. But I'm going to lunch with Tammy and Raylyn today, so I can't eat too big of a breakfast. Because we're going to Wildflower, and I want that salad. Oh my gosh. There's this salad. It's like it's a chopped salad, I think. And it has couscous and, is it couscous or quinoa? Quinoa and, oh my gosh. I just love that salad so much. I love it so much. So this feels just ripe for, what else can I put on it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe I want to make these a little longer. See if I can match up. Yeah. Fill those in. There we go. Mm. There we go. Ah, what am I going to do on that? The possibilities are endless. And look at all this fun that's happening down here. Who knows what I'll do down there? Ah, I hope everybody had lots of fun enhancing your papers and working with some translucent papers. Nancy, let me know how the your tracing paper idea comes out, because I'm going to be pulling out some tracing paper here too. Prayers and thoughts go out to Floridians everywhere. Goodness sakes. Thank Thank you so much for joining me. I know that life can be busy and crazy, and but I appreciate that you find a way to me, whether it's live or on the replay. It means the world to me, and I hope it means the world to you too. I hope that it's equally beneficial. Thank you all so much. I adore you all, and I will see you. I'll see you on Tuesday. So that means be sure to open your email tomorrow. Be sure to open your Corbiere-Scott Designs newsletter. Remember, if you don't open it, then MailChimp will if you don't open so many in a row, it will bump you off. So be sure to open them. And that helps me greatly. And like, comment, share, all the things. And I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.